make a move and the bunny gets it.
I said, put the bunny back in the box. Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
It's showtime.
You too. Dead? Eh? Quite a good scene, isn't it? One man crazy, three very sane spectators. Yes. Yes, the badges.
Psychically, I'm very well endowed.
I want to know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide. I want to know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
Hey there, this is Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics. Welcome to the Rabbit Hole, our Monday show, the Monday call-in, where you in the chat help to determine the direction of the show. Basically, today, the reason why I showed that Frankenstein clip, just enough to not get struck, even though it's like this old thing, there's no really telling what YouTube strikes or what doesn't strike these days. But reason why we're going to talk about creators. We're going to talk about creators and creations today, and the attitude that you should take towards your creation. Where's the line between being too protective and basically giving up because you can't take the criticism? And well, that's what we're going to talk about today. It's my creation, So what does that mean? What does that mean for me? What does that mean for others? I got a good example today. And the person I'm going to talk about today, this is not an attack on him. Let me say that up front. It's not an attack on him. He is one of the best colorists any of us have ever seen. Maybe the best in the business. But there's one missed opportunity that I want to talk about today. This is no way, shape, or form an attack on this man. Okay, so no harassing this guy, no going after him in any way, shape, or form. And I hope if he sees this, that this is be an encouragement to him, not an attack. And if this gets EFAP'd on the trash cast, you know, do whatever you want to do with it, EVS. I don't give a shit. Anyway, so let me add on some people that are going to help me today. Starting with my favorite guy from Scotland.
If it's no Scottish, just clap!
Hello. Good evening. How's everyone doing?
All right here. All right here.
Good, good, good.
And
That's what I like to hear. You are muted.
all right. Streamer's finally let me go. All right. So the second guy, last but certainly least. All right.
Sir, nobody worries about upsetting a droid.
It's because a droid don't pull people's arms out of their sockets when they lose. Wookiees are known to do that.
Whoop. Supposed to add him. I didn't add him.
He's not going to talk to you now.
You could add it yourself, dude. Anyway. All right. If you can handle the chat. Are you eating?
Are you?
Seriously, are you eating? He's eating. Again.
No.
What do you wait to have the show time to start eating, or what the hell is it? Anyway.
All
right.
Yeah. No.
Totally unprofessional. I don't know why.
Totally unprofessional. All right. Anyway, there is what.
Yeah.
If you could bring up the chats, I would appreciate it. What if you don't mind earning a little bit of your keep? You know. Would you mind?
Yeah.
Well, I can't do it, so you'll have to.
Clean your. Yeah, maybe clean your fingers off, you know, before you.
Yeah.
Like bring them up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So today, I'm going to. There's a really good example of everything I want to talk about today. You guys don't know about it. You guys have never seen this, but this guy made an animated trailer of this. Okay. I thought this was going to be the comic that was going to change everything. If you would have asked me back when this was funding, what this would turn into, I thought it was going to turn into something huge. But it never got there for reasons that I'm going to talk about today. But let me show you the awesomeness of what this could have been. All right, check this out.
I want an animated movie of that. That looks cool.
So, what do you think?
That looks cool.
Yeah,
I'd love.
Yeah.
Are you bitching about that?
No.
What's wrong with you?
I'm
bitching about that? What's wrong with you?
The same thing wrong with you eating on my stream, maybe? I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway,
should I go get some food or something?
Would you bring up some chats, maybe? Just earn your keep just a little bit. Yeah. I appreciate
chupacabra.
Yes. Yeah. Stop noshing on your chupacabra and bring it. Okay. Barbecue chupacabra. Nerds. All right. What's up? What's up, Creators Outlet?
We'll be right back after this.
Nerds. All right. Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Woodrow in the chat.
All right, Woodrow.
Woodrow, hell chap from work. Yeah, he's a cook. Where he's at, he's in Arizona cooking, so I'm sure he's pretty hot where he's at.
Cooking up stuff.
But I delayed the show just to get that clip because I just wanted to show a little bit of the potential that was in this.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I got the biggest tier that was possible of this. So this was the main book here.
Right. Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But I got this what's called the spirit covers, and this was like the individual members. Look at this dude.
Ooh. Man, that looks neat.
Yeah.
Very nice.
People still say neat. That looks neat.
Yeah, it is very, very cool. This is Snow Leopard, I think.
Nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
Great.
Yeah.
Great art. Great artwork.
Yeah. Yeah, he did all this himself.
Right.
So he's the artist and the colorist and everything. Look at that guy.
Whoa.
But each one of them, each one of the Star Blades have like their own animal token. This is my favorite right here.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was the dude I was like, oh yeah.
That's really impressive. Yeah.
Look at that right there, right?
Cool.
Nice.
Well, and it got a little bit, another check there, you know. There you go.
Ooh,
Yep.
a blondie.
Hello.
Yep. Well, this kind of got memory hold. And nobody talks about it anymore. And that's a shame. Let me show you the actual comic. But it had this on the back.
Nice.
Kind of the... Yeah. But look at the interior art of this thing, right?
Ooh. Yeah.
You got a master
nice.
colorist.
That's amazing.
Very nice.
That's amazing.
You got a
really
master colorist here. Maybe the
good.
best.
Wow. Yeah.
Maybe the best in the business. Look at these things, man.
That's pristine. That's pristine. That is. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he might be the best colorist any of us have ever
That's
seen.
bitchin' Bojangles.
But this is the pencils or whatever he was working off of. This was his own pencils.
Right.
So
That's cool. Very cool.
Yeah. No doubt about it.
But
Yeah.
I think this is like a part of the first cover, maybe. But so we're talking about a book that was just absolutely all the images that we saw, all the we saw that cartoon that he did. Love the art, the star codes, and the concept straight gold, right? Well, but the issue that came in once I got the book, and I was not alone in this, was that it a few pages in, it suddenly completely, totally lost all narrative coherence, and it became a series of vignettes rather than a story, and it completely, totally, it just degenerated into like really basic storytelling. Basically, somebody obviously writing their first. This is obviously a script somebody wrote for the very, very first time anywhere. This is obviously absolute first work. And and I later talked to a lady who turned out to be the editor. I don't know if her name's on it. Let me make sure her name's on it before
Bunny.
Yeah.
You stepped in
What?
it. You're stepping in it.
Why?
How much stuff to get it?
You're stepping in it.
Why? Is the author in the chat or something?
No, I'm just saying he's stepping in it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He's going to give EVS a shitload of clicks. I can tell you that.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Wait, is that bad?
don't care.
I don't know.
Don't care.
Just say
He can go after me for Snowman already, so he can already go after me for Snowman.
It's okay.
So if he wants to.
I like it.
But
I like him.
but the lady, I talked to the lady who she's not listed anywhere. There's no credits evidently. But hey, what's up, John? Good to see you, dude. But
All right, John.
But she said that, you know, I actually told her when I found out that she was like editor on it until he let her go, and I told her precisely. No, I did not misgender her, but I told him precisely. I asked her. I was like, "Did you? Was the last pages that you edited? Was it this page?" And she said, "Yeah, that was the page." And I was like, "I could tell because we're not dead naming anybody, all right?" But I said I could tell, and the reason I could tell is because after that, it's like the whole entire narrative just lost coherence. And it became a series of like, this person, then this person, then this person, and you could just tell that no one had looked at the script after that point, and now there's nothing wrong with putting out a work. The disappointment's not in the work itself. It's absolutely an artistic work of art. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. The concept was just so solid. I mean, the concept was just brilliant. And but what happened was the moment that people started giving feedback, the guy pulled into a shell. And he stopped like accepting people's critiques and started like acting defensive and acting like they were attacking him. And because I'm going to tell you something right now. This book right here is not that far off from being awesome. You could take the dialogue bubbles out of it and by changing the dialogue, you can make it coherent. You could maybe change some panels around or change some pages. You could still go back and remaster this and still have an awesome comic out of it. But his solution, evidently, is to memory hole it and never talk about it again. And that's really what disappoints me the most, because this book is beautiful. It's an incredible concept, and his art is just jaw-dropping. And I really bought the highest tier. I bought it backed it at the highest tier, and I didn't really have the money because I was sure, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this was going somewhere. And but when it finally landed, and it landed really, really late, and basically, you know, it had to be taken over at some point in like, you know, had to have a project manager basically take it over. But it was quite obvious that he wasn't ready for any kind of criticism whatsoever to come his way. And when you are a creator and you put your work out there, I mean, there's people out there right now that probably have the works of frickin' Shakespeare. Are you keeping up on the chat? What do I need to pay attention to the chat?
No, it's all good.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're nothing without
okay.
That. What the hell?
All right. Okay. All right. Just checking. But the thing about it is because he didn't like, because everybody said that the art. No, we're not. This is what I'm talking about. Starblades. This is the book I'm talking about. Starblades. It's was put out by All Caps Comics. And the colors are incredible. The art in it is very, very good. But the issue was that once people started giving feedback, you know, there was like an immediate, like, I mean, I basically sent him a DM and I said, listen, you know, yes, there's issues with this writing wise. About 2 years from AI making a spot for fan fiction comics and whatever topic scenario his thoughts. We'll get derailed if I start in on that one. We'll discuss it later. Well, that's a good topic for another Monday. But the issue came in is that instead of like saying, well, Woodrow's book is going to be incredible. But instead of saying, okay, all right, this is not perfect, he basically immediately switched to, why you're attacking me? Why is everybody attacking me? And my DM said to him, I was like, listen, a writer could really fix this. You know, a writer could fix everything, that every issue everybody's getting right now. You could remaster it. You know, writer could like reorder the panels, reorder the thing, and change some dialogue around. And this book could just be the best thing, you know. But it needs writing help. It needs a writer's help. And instead of taking that on board, I never got a response back, and I saw where he was like, "Oh, why are people in my DMs attacking me?" You know, and I was like, "We're not attacking you, man. We this book is amazing. It's so freaking amazing. You know, if you could like stop being sensitive for a second and say, okay, well, but the reason why he fired her, his expressed reason to her was that she was being too critical."
Right.
That's the reason he fired her, and so now he's getting critique on the back end of it. You know, after it comes out, when he could have just had her critique on the front side of it, and made those adjustments before it ever saw the light of day. But because he, you know, and we all, I mean, this thing made over 6 figures. I mean, there's a lot of people that are really, you know, devoted to seeing this thing see the light of day. And but what happened is that, you know, instead of accepting critique on the front end of it, because he couldn't like let, you know, he was too precious with it. His ego wouldn't allow that. He got it all on the back end, and instead of putting out another Starblades, which I don't even know if he's in production with it. I don't keep up with EVS in his group, so I don't know if he's even around to talk about it. I know I've seen books coming out with his colors on it, but I don't know how much he interacts with anybody. But
so this is an Ethan Von Sciver thing we're talking about then?
No, it's his main colorist, guy by the name of Paul Ritter.
Sorry, and who's the writer? Who's the writer though?
Evidently, he was the writer too, so he's the writer artist.
All right, I thought we were talking about Ethan Von Sciver there.
No. Well, I mean, he put it out. It was put out on all caps.
Right.
Which is why everybody's like, "Oh my God, run away!" You know.
Well, Ethan, I like EVS. I know. Yeah.
I don't have a problem with EVS, but this book was not good. Snowman wasn't good. You know. And the problems were all with the writing. It's all with the writing.
When you say it isn't good, I mean, is it like an 8 out of 10?
I would say out of my 6 carat system.
Right.
This would be a 3.
Okay.
The book would be a 3.
Average.
Okay. Yeah. But the potential is so much potential there that that's
right.
That really disappoints the crap out of me that it's a 3. Hold on a second.
I see what you mean there. Yeah.
All right.
Not that I know anything about writing, so but if you've got an idea, if you have an idea, if you can write it down, that's one thing. If you can get someone else that knows what the heck they're doing to help, that's
Well, the issue comes in. The big issue is when people like give you the feedback. Okay, you know, you work on this thing in your closet. I mean, I've got a book I'm working on right now, and my editor kind of disappeared on me. I don't know what happened to him. Still to this day, I don't know what happened to him. But he was the one that was like kind of shepherding the book, and he's completely gone. And I've talked to some other people about helping me edit it, but I lost. But I'm still working on it. But I am very well aware that when this book comes out, there's going to be people with claws out ready to tear it to pieces.
Right.
And because I say things like this, because I have these opinions.
How
And
dare
the
you?
reason why, how dare you? Right. But see, I'm Gen X, man. I mean, Gen X, we had cut down fights where that stopped after somebody burst into tears. Okay.
Yeah.
My own relatives used to speculate in front of me after my parents were killed in a car accident. Why did they take my more popular brother than me? That was in front of me. I had that speculation in front of me. So we
Wonderful.
come from a different generation where critique and criticism was like the air we breathed. Okay. I mean, it was everywhere, right?
I do believe that comedy was a bit more brutal as well. So
Oh,
yeah.
comedy was vicious. Comedy was freaking vicious.
There
right?
was no holds barred. No holds barred there. Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Criscow, I do like Brian's writing. I'm not quite at the editing stage yet, but thanks for bringing it up. But see, people will take what I'm saying right now as something negative, like I'm attacking, because they have because of people. It's a marketing strategy. People don't understand this. Saying that somebody can't critique your work is a marketing strategy. Okay. Equating criticism as attack is really started mainstream around 2016 Ghostbusters. Okay.
Oh, hell.
Yeah. Well, but suddenly, and it's the main reason. It's available if you want to come on, Papa Cotton. I have no problem with you coming on, dude. But the formats of call in basically is for people for people's chat and be part of the conversation. But if anybody wants to come on board, I do kind of gatekeep a little bit. But if you have something to contribute, I will send you a link. But I have to give the caveat right quick. This is the caveat.
You always cut that tune off too soon. I love that tune. I was bouncing to that tune.
Well, I would never get anything done if I had it any longer. I'd just play that tune all the time.
That's also true, yeah.
Herb Albert, Oh, I guess Wookiee's back. All right.
Yep, I'm back.
Oh, wow, he is. Wow.
But anyway.
Cotton.
Hey.
But see, by equating criticism, with attack, what they do is they indemnify themselves and protect themselves from anybody being able to say anything negative about their work, and they think what that's ultimately going to do is prevent loss, which is called. You can put that comment down, Wood, if you don't mind. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hang on.
Okay. Anyway,
look at Star Wars.
Star Wars.
About your phone number on YouTube. It's crazy.
Good example. Good example of that.
Yeah, look at Star Wars.
I don't give out my my YouTube phone number on YouTube. No, I do not. It's my
goodness. No, that's not
invitation. No. The call-in is basically the chat and people that come on as panelists. That's what the call-in is, okay? Anyways, just to clarify that. All right. This show's been going on for 17 episodes, so try to keep up, Papa Cotton. Anyway.
Hey now.
Joking.
Hey now.
See, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to criticize. All right. Anyway.
Hey now. Come on now.
All right. But the thing about it is, though, is when you this is a marketing strategy that basically indemnifies these people from any kind of criticism that makes them think that that's going to hold their market share. Now, what's that? Now, this has happened in the mainstream, okay? And they say because of this person, this group of people is involved with the creation of this thing, you are not allowed to criticize it, okay?
Right.
And what that does is people are like, yeah, but it's shit. and you saying that I can't criticize it, you can't tell me what to do. And so it drives people away in droves. Okay. And all the press that are coming down on the what was formerly the Fandom Menace. Now, I don't even think they call themselves that anymore. They're just so over it. But
I think so.
I showed this a couple episodes ago that when it's, Kathleen Kennedy basically calling it the Star Wars fans' fault that Star Wars isn't succeeding. And there's article after article after article after article saying that toxic fan, right? Now, basically what they're saying is criticism is a bad thing. It's an attack, and therefore, if you have any criticism, it's invalidated by the fact that you're being mean-spirited.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
I love Kyle Ritter's work. I love it. Okay. I still pull this book out and I still read it, even though it's really, really hard to read. But I love the colors. I love the characters. I love the world. And I love the concepts. I just, and I hope that someday he can get back to it. But see, that probably won't happen. Why? Because he can't accept the criticism of it. And he can't accept that that people that were saying this could be better weren't being mean to him.
No. Again, I guess it depends on how that is presented.
Well, it doesn't matter if that's the way it's presented. You see, that's the deal. That's the deal. Okay. Even if you're a douchebag that wants to hurt my feelings and you're coming after me, when you criticize something of mine and in an attempt to tear me apart, there is still valuable information in that. If I don't have an ego about it, if I don't get butt hurt, if I don't get it's valuable for people to say to you, okay, you over talk. Go ahead.
I guess what I was trying to say is sometimes it is blatantly obvious whether the criticism is constructive or not. But
don't
but that's the thing. There's such thing as non-constructive criticism. It's all constructive. That's what I'm saying. It's all.
Don't get butthurt over
all
constructive criticism.
So take it all
over any criticism.
Yeah.
Over any criticism. That's what I'm saying. There is no such thing as non-constructive or constructive criticism. Okay.
Right.
Even if somebody is questioning your ability to exist, okay, which is happening a lot lately. All right. As a white male, I'm basically supposed to just lay down and die and leave the world to everybody else. Yeah, I get that. I get that. That's in society everywhere right now, especially in England, bless their hearts. But the thing about it is, though, is if something is coming at me, even if it's coming from a negative source, I can say, okay, I can strategize because of it. I can say, okay, this is where they're headed with this, and I can head it off, or I can do something different. I can zig when when they're expecting me to zag.
I was going to say, I mean, is it not difficult if somebody just makes a baseless kind of thing by saying, "Oh, shite"? How? What is crap? How do you take it from there?
That's not criticism. That's not criticism. That's just somebody being a dumbass. That's not criticism. I don't accept that as criticism.
Okay.
Criticism is when somebody is specific, when there's specificity about it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Just saying something is shit. It's like, okay, okay, that's your opinion. That's just basically opinion. There's no criticism in there. Now, if somebody says that is shit because of this, this, and this, that's criticism. Even if they're off base, I can say, okay, what did they think was perceived as weakness in my product that I can take in, absorb, and do something better with it? I can take their criticism, or even if it's poorly intended, even if it's vile or evil, or somebody just wants me to self-delete, which happens a lot.
Would you still apply that same logic if the criticism or whatnot was still overwhelmingly positive and the negative was just a minuscule?
Well, if that's the case, then you know, we're a lot like that. Chris Farley. I always point to this. Would you say that Chris Farley was beloved? Would you say that he was beloved?
It seemed
Would
that
you
way.
say
I'm,
that-
I'm not. I haven't seen many of his things, but yeah, he was quite
Well,
popular. Yeah.
Well, if Wookie was here, would you say that Chris Farley is beloved?
Yeah.
Wookie?
Yeah,
True
he
American?
was. Yeah, he was.
Did you know that he was calling Jim Brewer like just weeks before he died in the middle of the night with a party going on in the background that he was paying for, asking Jim Brewer, "Do you think I'm funny?"
All right.
After he appeared on Saturday Night Live with Jim Brewer, and Jim
Yeah.
Brewer is like, he had some people with him who are just evil, vile people. But he was on the SNL that week, and he was just had a great show, and he's hilarious. But in the middle of the night, Jim Brewer gets a phone call from him, and he's like, "Do you think I'm funny?" He's got accolades all around the world, and that's he's a good example of taking.
Self-doubt.
Yeah, he's a good.
That's why he was medicating with all the freaking drugs and everything.
Oh yeah,
He gravitated toward that because he felt, in my opinion, he felt like he was accepted somehow.
Imposter. He was an imposter.
And just, he was funny.
Right.
He was talented. He was funny. He was somebody.
Well,
that I
see,
enjoyed
his
watching
father
movies
screwed with him so much growing up. His father got in his head like, "You're a fat kid. You're never going to amount to anything," and he never got that father out of his head. Okay, and that's just vile and evil right there, and that's the negative side of criticism. But if he could have found a way to absorb the joy and the happiness and that he was creating in others, and the love his friends had for him, Dave Spade to this day can barely talk about Chris Farley.
I've seen some of their movies. They've done a couple of movies.
Yeah, they
were best friends. They were
They were
absolutely best friends. And he didn't go to his funeral. He couldn't do it. He couldn't go to his funeral. And so that's how much loved Chris Farley was, but he couldn't feel that. Okay. And the reason he couldn't feel that is because of his broken ego. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Didn't he die via an overdose?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He died with more drugs in the system to kill a rhinoceros. Okay. Yeah. But basically what I'm saying though is I am saying that there are some negative things to criticism. Okay. But if you don't allow it to affect you, okay, then you can evaluate it better. Chris Farley couldn't evaluate the criticism coming his way. He couldn't evaluate it. When he did the Chippendales video where he was dancing as a Chippendales dancer, the most brilliant physical comedy I've ever seen anybody. The dude
him and Patrick Swayze. Him and Swayze.
Patrick Swayze. The dude was doing some moves like I've seen like people in shape couldn't do. He popped from his belly up back to his feet and immediately did a Batman and did a jump. Patrick Swayze did a pirouette, okay?
Right.
But Chris Farley jumped in the air a complete 180 doing that. And the brilliant physical comedy, and people to this day are in awe of that.
Yeah, Swayze's
hear.
Yeah, he was. He did a lot of
Patrick Swayze was a dancer, and Patrick Swayze was like, "Man, this kid is giving me all I can." Some of that dialogue was actually legitimate. Patrick Swayze saying that, "Damn, it's good. He's freaking good." But see, somebody told Chris, and Chris is like, "Oh, it's just the fatty is the funny, but somebody's like, "Well, show him how much you can dance. Show him how you can dance," and he just absolutely cut a rug. But all he could hear was the fact that at the end of it, the whole punchline was that you're just too fat. Right. The more brilliant joke would have been if he beat Patrick Swayze. That would have been a more brilliant joke.
Yeah.
But they couldn't get out of their heads enough to do that, and that probably would have helped him a lot. But the thing about it is though is he couldn't accept that people were admiring him for his ability and his skill, all they could hear was oh, they think I'm fat. You know?
Right.
And so we're seeing people with multi-million-dollar campaigns that are attacking nobodies with like 5 followers for daring to say something negative.
Yeah.
Why should that matter to you? Is it legitimate? If if it's a legitimate critique, accept it and move on.
I think,
Well,
Bunny, I think criticism should be taken as a tool. Take those elements that people because you can't really see what it is that you're living in until you step out of the box and look back at where you were at. You can't see it if you're in the middle of it. The criticism, constructive criticism, or coaching,
but it's all
or suggestions.
If you have the right attitude, it's all constructive.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And you use that criticism as a tool, as a learning instrument to go and continue and keep moving forward. Don't turn around and tell all these people to fuck off,
Yeah.
And whatever, what do you know? Fuck you, all this other bullshit. No, take that and say, okay, I'll take this, I'll digest it, whatever, and just keep moving forward with whatever your projects are going to be doing. But take all those elements into account so that on the next one, those same people that came forward and say, hey, you could have done better here, you could have done better there, blah, 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 blah. They're going to say, holy shit, you just hit it out of the park.
Right. Well, Eric July just put out a book, and people who have been critical of his books in the past have said that this book's pretty decent. Okay. But the thing about it is now there's such an adversarial relationship there that people that could have checked out that book and enjoyed it. And Eric could have made this pivot a long time ago, except that every critique was an attack. And he was just declaring war on people for saying anything negative about his books. What he could have done was he could have said, okay, that's fair. Okay, let me make an adjustment here. But it took him to about 3 or 4 books in before he's like, okay, well, let me start out with a writer, an editor, and a solid artist, and then go from there. When he could have been doing that all along. But see, by this point, a lot of people who were just turned off by the fact he was attacking them are no longer going to be giving his books a chance, even though, he's making $1 million sales and he doesn't need it per se. But how many more millions of dollars could he be making right now?
Well,
because he's still got the numbers up there, but you still see a significant drop off from that first book. There's still a significant drop off.
Just because someone may levy criticism at your work, doesn't mean that they don't support you financially, because they've had to buy the books and accept whatever else. So they put out money to test and see what you've got. Now, does that mean that they're not going to support your book?
I back this.
No, I understand it. Yeah, I know. You did, and that's how you had to find out what's going on.
Well, see, I backed it this at the highest tier because I believed in it.
Let me ask you this, because you believed it, and even though you have some constructive criticism in it, if he came out with a sequel to that, would you do it? Would you back it?
If he had a writer.
The thing is, though, you're not going to know that till you get the book.
If he had writing help or editorial help, I would. But I didn't know that he didn't have a writer or editorial help, or I wouldn't have backed it. Because when he started out, he was advertised. He said that he had editorial help, but he fired her a few pages into the book.
My thing is, my point is that, like, once
you stop chewing, what's your point?
My point is that if you attack the people that have financially backed you, because of minor, criticisms, is that a wise thing to do? Because these people put their money out there. They're interested in what you have and what you're doing and where you're going. And because they say, oh, well, you could have done better here, blah, 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 blah. Does that mean that now they've decided they're not going to support you? Before you go on a freaking rampage crusade to crucify everybody who said something you claim is negative.
Well, see, right now,
it's
everybody
not
is
business wise, in my opinion.
Well, everybody now is that is probably worried that I'm going to be on Trash Cast and EVS is going to come after me. He already has come after me a couple times now, and maybe he'll succeed this time. I don't know. But you know what? If I'm wrong, then I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm doing this because I want to see the art form improved. Well, that's fine. Metal movies and brewskis. That is totally fine, dude. I mean, hey, like I've said before, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. You know, that's fine. For me, you know, I had issues with the editing and with the writing. You can take a comment down there, Wook. Yeah, you can take it down, dude. You know. All right, there you go. Thank you. But I'm just saying that basically, this is all my opinion, but I should have my ability to make my opinion. And opinions are, you know, it's true. The opinions are like assholes. Everybody does have one.
I was gonna do that. I was going to do the whole Clint Eastwood thing, but you kind of jumped in there first. So,
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. I that's a criticism. I should have let you have that. But anyway.
That's perfectly fine.
Everybody has opinions and some of them stink. Okay. Yeah. That is true. Right. However, there's something called wisdom of the crowd that has been proven over and over and over again to be the closest to the truth as you can get. And that is, if you take a consensus of opinions, both negative and positive, and then you like kind of add them up together and form a consensus, most of the time, that's going to be closest to the truth as you can get. It's been proven over and over again by people that have conducted experiments that this is the truth. Because somewhere among that big mass of people, you know, their perceptions, their livelihood, their way of viewing the world, and if it's somewhere in there is the absolute truth of things, because the truth exists completely outside of opinion. The truth is the truth.
Yeah.
And if you could get beyond that, and the only way you're going to get to the truth is by people's opinions and by people's critiques and by people's criticisms. Okay. That's the only way you get to the truth.
Right.
If Kathleen Kennedy, I know, boo hiss. There you go. Everybody get that out of their system. Mm-hmm. All right, let's proceed. If Kathleen Kennedy had seen the Fandom Menace's complaints to her and said, okay, let's make adjustments. Okay, this direction we're heading in is probably not the way we should be going. Where should we? Yeah, there's enough people out here saying this. That is what makes it interesting. Everybody has opinions and critiques, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
but if she had made those course adjustments, would we be looking at a dead IP now? Would we be looking at Acolyte not even being in the top 10 on the lowest, one of the lowest watch
the problem
streaming services? You know,
go
ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you, but the problem that I see with, say, someone like a Kathleen Kennedy and like a corporation like Disney is that Kathleen Kennedy, in my opinion, is not and never was and never will be a creative or a creator. She's a corporate stuffed shirt.
But she has ovaries. But she has ovaries.
Tough shit.
Come on.
My cat has ovaries too.
Come on. She might have done really well at making coffee. We don't know.
I can tell you, because she's not a creative, she can't take the criticism. It's corporate.
She created coffee. She's coffee.
I know she did. Who knows?
She did. There you go.
One number two. You know, but
she probably had the cream in it exactly like George wanted it.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know,
and that's the thing. She does. A person like that does whatever they can to suck up to whoever's above them so that they can get recognized and given a position, you know, up the ladder, upwardly mobile.
Well, see,
that's what
this is why it's going to fail. But this is why it's going to all fail. This is why DEI, you know, people with DEI concepts are never going to succeed. It's because they won't accept criticism in any way, shape, or form. They won't accept it. Okay. The reason why is because they don't allow quantifying. They don't allow qualitative things that even come into it, because quality is not as important as equality.
Right.
And the issue with that is meritocracy you have to throw meritocracy completely out the window, and meritocracy is the only way that an IP succeeds in the long term. Short term, you can get successes, you can like fake successes, but in the long term, if I have 3 readers come to me with similar critique, I'm probably going to make some changes. So there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Did you see that? Did you see that? She says that she'll retire from Lucasfilm after she gets a big win.
In other words, she's never going away, guys.
Yeah, exactly. She's never going away. That's the thing with people like her. Again, with people like her, there's no, you know, there's no reset button or chance to reorganize and come back better. No, it's her way or nothing else. Her goal from the very freaking beginning was to basically destroy the franchise IP, the legacy of George Lucas.
Well, see, I don't think I think it was her intention. I think she wanted to fix it, improve it.
There was nothing to fix.
Fix it.
Well, there you go. There you go.
That's the problem. There was nothing to fix.
All right. I believe
just had to
preserve
someone
it. Review your work. Yeah. If somebody reviews your work, it means that they cared enough to do it.
She has their goal should have been was to preserve and make it you know,
to move it forward, but preserve what has been.
Yeah, exactly.
I did a video earlier today that's probably going to be suppressed by YouTube, but our beloved vice president keeps saying the same damn thing over and over again, and she keeps saying, "What will be unburdened by what has been." Okay, and well, it sounds good on the surface, but what she's saying is historical erasure. You know, erasing everything that's before so we can proceed forward. But if you do that, then you're going to just make the same mistakes that you left behind because you didn't learn from them. Go ahead, Cruel. Before Wookie,
I was going to say that you know, obviously the with this hit that Kathleen Kennedy is going to have, it was quite funny because I saw people in one of the chats on the video saying, "Come on, guys, let's just say it's good." So she goes.
I've seen the movement. I've seen the movement. Like, support the next project so we can finally get rid of her.
I know.
well, there you go. There you go. But you know, one of the things reason why people like Gary from Nerdrotics and Critical Drinker are really gaining in power right now is because the gaslighting is no longer working.
No,
the gaslighting is no longer working because when people are going to evaluate things, people are going to critique things. These guys, what they're saying is a lot closer than what the press shields say.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, the press shield says, "Oh, this is wonderful. It's inclusive. It's blah, blah, blah," you know, all buzzwords. And then they go and watch it, and it's absolute shit. And these guys over here are going like, "You know what? That's absolute shit." And you're like, "You know what? I agree. That's absolute shit." And suddenly they're starting to watch neurotic videos rather than watch Grace Randolph. So, you know. But the thing about it is, though, is at the end of the day, if you take your ego out of it, critique is the best tool you have.
Well,
the problem is with some of these people who are in charge, they have a personality type that will not allow them to acquiesce to a possible failure that they did. They're going to run
that is
from
why
that.
They fail.
Exactly. That's exactly why the movie studios are tanking. They're losing their ass. I mean, because they can't pull their head out of their ass to see what the hell they're doing.
Well, there's this breakdancing thing in the Olympics. I didn't even know there was a sport in the Olympics.
Oh, that was totally fucking cringe as shit.
But this chick shows up from Australia, and she's out of shape. She's unathletic, and it was just like it was a travesty. But then when people were like, "What was that?" You know, the lady who's over the Olympic Committee in Australia is like, "Oh, well, she's brave and she's an icon and she's that." That's another. Never said anything about her being good because it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But see, on the world, quantifiably on the world stage, she could have been doing something better with her because the lady, the Australian Olympic lady, is like she was like she's shut up in her room crying because she's trying so hard in a male dominated sport. And it's like, well, maybe somebody told her, it's like, you ain't got it, you need to do something else. And maybe she wouldn't be like a laughing stock right now trying to do something she's clearly not good at.
These, hopey changey, fluffy, feel good, touchy feely bullshit where there's all participation trophies and no one gets the dud.
Yeah.
No one told it. Maybe you shouldn't freaking do this, and maybe you should do something else with something better.
It's like these women boxers that are getting the shit knocked out of them. There you go.
Right in the line of fire. I was asked about the DEI thing recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just quoted that film. It's window dressing.
Right.
A lot of it is window dressing and virtue signaling. Yeah. If the people involved were good, that's great. But
no amount
the boxes.
Well, no amount of competence would have made one of those women that were supposed to be protected Trump come up to it past his elbow.
No.
Competence did not matter.
Yep.
They couldn't protect him with their body because they were too damn short. And that's the reality, okay? And so if the work that you put out,
well, I mean, you look at the big burly guys. The big burly guys were all over Trump, aren't they?
Exactly. The only reason he was able to get that picture was because she was so damn short. He shouldn't have even been seen. He shouldn't even been able to be seen. But basically, the bottom line, though, this is a beautiful book. It's absolutely brilliant book.
It certainly does look that way.
I absolutely wish that someday that he'll be able to get over his feelings being hurt enough to come back to this and maybe get some help and make this into what it should be, what it could be, because this is absolutely right now it stands as the biggest missed opportunity that I've seen. And it doesn't have to be. That's the thing. It doesn't have to be. But if you can basically, instead of attacking your detractors, say, what do they have a point? Instead of attacking people that say, you know what, you didn't do that. That's not the best way you could have handled that. Why don't you say, do they have a point? And instead of immediately going to
I guess it might be difficult in some cases, because it's your baby and then they're attacking you. And
it's your creation.
Yeah.
It's your baby.
I get it. I get that.
Yeah. I mean, Dr. Frankenstein, that he was like over the moon at this thing that he created this thing. But because he wasn't listening to people saying that maybe you shouldn't be doing that, that might be bad. Doing that might be bad. Instead of being unable to hear that criticism, he went in that direction, and what had happened is just tragedy followed his family, and just befell him. And he brought something into the world that shouldn't have been into the world, and it cost them all everything. But things could be headed off. Things could be before things got to that point. Things could have been repaired.
Fine. If I may,
in private.
If I may interrupt here, a fine example of that was the very first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, where the original artwork, the original CGI, and everything was out.
That's right.
Horrifying.
People went ballistic on it. The director said, "Okay, let's reverse engines. Let's get this thing back into dock real quick. Let's fix it, and then we'll go from there." He took the criticism.
They had their debut in like a couple months.
Yeah. They
were supposed to debut in a couple months.
They took the criticism, and they used it as a tool to pinpoint the problem.
Right.
And they fixed it, and they had a successful movie because of it. In my opinion, it was a successful movie.
Was it good? I haven't seen them. Were they good?
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. The first one I enjoyed. That's the only one I've seen. I enjoyed it.
I've seen both of them. They're both of them really good.
I can tell you that the Sonic in the movie has more. It has more characteristics of the video game than what they originally had put out.
And he's a likable little guy. He's a very likable little guy.
Yep.
So
again,
so much so that I got choked up a couple times. He's such a likable little guy, and so when things happen to him, you care.
Yeah,
but
that movie is a very good example of criticism, constructive criticism coming out. People didn't like this because of this. The director and the production staff took that as a coachable situation. They took all the feedback. They filtered all the feedback out. They pinpointed where the problem was, and they fixed it.
Yeah.
And then they went forward ahead. And that's the whole part. That's the whole goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
They did it. They did it before the
this stream right now. That's the goal of the stream right now. You presented a book. It's a great book. It's a beautiful artwork, etc. Great construction in the book.
Incredible campaign.
Yeah. The only issue is that you brought forth an issue of arranging the writing and etc. and whatever. Yeah. Which in some cases could be a minor situation to most, but to some, it could be taken as a complete freaking, rampage on them, and they get defensive. But again, there are personality types out there that cannot handle criticism or coaching. They get to they just can't do it, and they shut you out.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this right now. It's a learned skill. I haven't mastered it. I take things personally all the time. I take things. I take things as personal attack all the time. This is not me saying that I have achieved this. I have not achieved this, but I could see the value in me getting to the place where when somebody says something, I can evaluate it on its merits, and then tell them if they need to F off, tell them to F off, but if they have some point, being able to take that on and saying, okay, how can I alter this? How can I change course here? Because there are when enough people tell you something, then maybe you should listen, maybe you should course correct, Captain Smith on the Titanic was told multiple times, maybe we shouldn't be going this fast in the North Atlantic. And yet he was like, it'll be fine.
Right.
And because he was being very arrogant, he was the captain of the biggest ship on the planet at that moment, most, the unsinkable ship or whatever, and nobody's going to mess with him, right?
Well,
there happened to be a iceberg out there that messed with him. Okay,
we know
allegedly an iceberg.
Check out our show the other night. But anyway,
we know the consequences of pride and arrogance. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, ego doesn't benefit anybody.
No.
What's up, William F? Good to see you, dude. But
All right,
it
William.
doesn't benefit anybody ever in any way, shape, or form. The Bible says that pride comes before a fall.
That's
and
what I
pride,
just kind of said.
Yeah, the pride is the biggest problem that anybody has. Anybody has. Being too prideful will never help you to succeed. Okay. I'm going to say this. It sounds very political, but it really isn't political. Donald Trump made a course correction, and he made a course correction in that if you look at him before and after the assassination attempt, there's been a sea change with him in that he basically, when he got up after being shot and looked at that crowd and they hadn't gone anywhere and saw their love for him, it changed something in him. He said so. And he got in, and since then, I've seen him shift towards the being more people oriented than he was being, lifting his own name out of obscurity or lifting his name to prominence. And because of that, he's made changes the way he talks to people. He's made changes the way how he deals with people. And it has benefited him greatly. But being able to make that change, as big as his ego is, and he's got one of the largest egos on the planet. But even somebody like that, making an alteration, making a change, showing some humility, can change everything. And I'm saying to the people, go ahead.
Are you suggesting that perhaps the assassination attempt was God humbling him?
I think so.
God does that.
I think so. But I really, honestly, I think that at the end of the day, you can take the negative things and make them positive, as long as you sublimate your ego and your pride enough to accept. If these guys right now who are still at war and their followers are at war, with each other on the internet, imagine what could happen is if these guys were to say, you know what, let's bury the hatchet. This big thing that we're trying to build is more important than our own egos, and started collaborating and cooperating and stopped, doing pissing contests and stopped fighting with one another and trying to have the bigger fan base and then having their fan bases fight it out for them like their armies. If these guys would just say, what can we build together, sublimate their egos, and say, you know what, replacing the mainstream should be our priority, not fighting with one another. The mainstream wouldn't have a chance. The mainstream wouldn't have a shot at it because they're all DEI, CRT up to the eyeballs, which means that they can't take critique, they can't take criticism, and they can't pivot and do better. They can't. It's impossible for them to do better because they can't hear criticism.
No,
they can't accept criticism, and they can't adjust.
Egotistical and narcissistic as well. Yeah,
they can't adjust to change.
No,
they can't make those adjustments mentally, and then keep moving forward with those changes.
Well, they're
they
sitting
can't
ducks.
adapt it. They can't adapt to the change.
No,
that's
they're
another
sitting
thing.
ducks.
They can't even adapt to it.
No, they're sitting ducks. I mean, and when you can't alter your course, you're the Titanic heading into the North Atlantic. Okay, the smarter course would be to say, that's dangerous area. Let's don't even go in that direction. Why in politics do Republicans have to take 3 steps backward to move 1 foot forward? I don't know. Absolutely.
Very good question.
That's an extraordinarily good question. It's almost like they're self-defeating. It's almost like they're controlled opposition. If you were to be if you were to be conspiracy minded,
Next up on cryptids and conspiracies. Why did the Republicans
maybe they're like maybe both sides are puppets held by the same person. I don't know. I'm conservative. I'm liberal. I'm conservative. I'm liberal. Anyway, just saying. Just saying.
That's
anyway,
why they all hate Trump, because he's not from the same bird or the same.
I don't think he is. Maybe he's an even bigger threat. We have yet to see.
I don't.
But yeah, I don't know. But
Who
at
knows?
the same time, though,
all right.
This is. Howdy, you guys. What's up, Wolfbane Comics? What's up, Aaron? What's up, dude?
All right.
Well, what I'm hoping will come out of this, and maybe it's a good chance I'll wind up on Trash Cast and get ratioed into oblivion. What happened to me with Eric July will be like 10 times worse or something, and people will disavow even knowing me. That's entirely possible. I could get Ed Pitt scored into oblivion. I don't know, but at the same time, somebody needs to say this, guys.
Dear me, have I come on the wrong show here?
Yeah, Carl's like, I don't know. I just clicked the link. I just clicked the link.
I left something through the house.
I just clicked the link and here I am. I don't know whose show I'm on. Anyway. Well, no problem, Aaron. At the end of the day, though, I think we just got to like supplement ourselves, and we got to like humble ourselves. The last shall be first, and the first shall be last. God's economy has worked greatly to create the world that we're in right now. People that are able to humble themselves and say, take that opinion on and do something with it positive. Okay, and the wisdom of the crowd still exists. And so if the crowd is telling you something, maybe you should pivot. Maybe you should change. Maybe that's the person in the crow's nest telling you, there's an iceberg ahead. Instead of going like, we're unsinkable, don't worry about it. Maybe saying, full stop.
The wisdom of the crowd doesn't apply in Great Britain, apparently.
Well, you know what? That crowd is about to shove it down their throats, though. I mean, these are the people that look Hitler in the eye and spit in his face.
My government is just so fantastic. I love it. It's really lovely.
There's totally not a government assassin standing next to me with a gun pointed at my head saying this.
No. Absolutely. It was nice knowing you. Enjoy prison. Anyway. Well,
yeah, it's funny because they're threatening us over here in the United States, us content creators and people posting on Twitter and whatnot and so forth about what's going on over there. Yeah. And the cop, the head constable, cop, whatever, commie puppet bastard, comes out and says, "We will find you. We will extradite you over here, and we will punish you."
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Well, the British tried to, exert.
They tried that shit twice with
Americans before, and
they tried that twice.
Just didn't work out for them.
In 1776. And the other time was in 1814.
Yeah. Neither time worked out.
Didn't do well. And in 1814, the frickin' rednecks out in Louisiana kicked their ass.
And you know what? We're a lot more heavily armed than we were then. A lot more heavily armed. Allegedly. Allegedly. There's a lot of boat accidents that have decreased the firearm population. But anyway, so just saying. All right, but at this, before we get too far, watch how the British are coming for your comments. That's okay. That's okay. Actually, I have somebody's last word on this. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me find it. Let me find it. I thought I had it uploaded here. I know I had it uploaded somewhere. One second. I have too many things over here.
Too many windows.
Hey, you need a good parkour.
Yeah. Oh no, here we go. Let's don't start that. Don't start that.
Scream,
all right.
kill
Well, well, all right. In the words of our good friend Gabi, who gives a shit? Anyway, I can't find it.
I love it.
I had it over here. I know I did.
That was one of the best freaking replies I've ever heard. That was so
Yeah.
good.
That just does not get old. That it just does not.
Does not get old. No.
No, it does not get old.
All right. Anyway, that's pretty much the show for the day. I hope if the bigger channels decide to EFAP this and try to like intimidate me or whatever, and find that I don't intimidate. I've seen things and been experienced things that you guys would make you cry and curl into a ball, and I'm still here. So you want to come from me, just understand that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But I hope that something I said today starts a ball rolling in somebody, because we need to learn to accept criticism. We need to learn to adjust, and we need to learn to move forward. And abandoning something this awesome because people didn't immediately like it is not the way forward. It's just not. And I hope someday that Kyle decides to pick it back up. And he's got my help. He's got a lot of people rooting for him to do it, because it was really genius book, really beautiful book. And if he had some writing and editorial help, we'd still be talking about it now. And that people have memory hold it, but not me. I still remember it. I still got it in there. And I'm hoping for the day that we will see Star Blades takes its place. And so for that, I'm going to play that trailer one last time before we head out. But anyway, that's been Cooper Telepathic Bunny Comics. Follow the White Rabbit, and y'all have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
And check out.
See ya. Have a good one.
This is Star Blades.